everyone, and welcome back to another video. It is nearly the end of 2020 and we've made it nearly. We're so close. And yeah, I mean, what else is there to say on that? Because frankly, I think most people will be very glad that this year is nearly over. So I have a glass of gin and tonic just to cheers you all before the new year, and I wish you all the very best for 2021. And today I am just going to do a very quick, simple video just for your interest. All I'm going to do is run through my wish list for 2021, and first of all I want to disclaimer that this isn't a plants I'm going to get in 2021. This is just things that I really freaking love and that I've eyeballed for a long time and that I wish I could have in my collection. So it in all likelihood won't happen. It's just things that I really like and I think it's interesting to share with you guys, and I would love to hear what you're looking for on your wish list as well. So without further ado, I will get into it. Just to say, some of these are rare, some of them are more common. I think there's more rare than there are common on this list, but I will go through that as we get to it. So I've got to my trusty notebook here. Actually, I'm just going to move over here so that I can pop this on my right hand side. God, I still cannot get this in my head. I think it's on my right hand side on YouTube. Basically, I'm going to put a picture there of the plant that I am talking about. I will probably use reference pictures from Instagram just so that you can see what kind of beautiful, gorgeous plant I am talking about. So the first is Hoya goodin gadding, which is a gorgeous Hoya, and it sun blushes like something stunning. I will probably put two pictures up. I'll put the normal green leaf and I'll put a picture of the sun blush. I have been looking out for the Hoya goodin gadding for quite a long time, and it's just up there. I think it's a beautiful plant with big lovely leaves. If you're into your Hoya, then you're probably into the goodin gadding, although I'll be interested to hear if anyone isn't. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Then we've got a couple of begonias, because it's me and I can't live my life without begonias apparently. So top of my begonia list is the Begonia Chlorophylla. I think anyone who's into their begonias probably wants the Chlorophylla because it is just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. There are actually two forms. There's the green form and the red form. I think the one that I'd really like is the green form, if I'm remembering correctly. Just because it's absolutely beautiful. It's actually really hard to get hold of in the UK at the moment and is likely to be more hard to get hold of post-Brexit, but there we go. It's a really beautiful plant. So yeah, if you like your begonias, chances are you'll probably like the Chlorophylla. Then we've got two cute little begonias that I have killed. Actually, I should probably honourable mention the Amphioxus. So Begonia Amphioxus, I've killed this twice, okay? It is an extremely temperamental tropical begonia, and I've killed it twice. Although, in my defence, they do not ship well whatsoever. They really struggle. So yeah, it's one that I'm reluctant to want, but I do ultimately want to have it and want to make it work for me. But we'll have to see on that one. But the two that I do want to get, that I know that I can get and keep well if I get a decent plant or plug or cutting or whatever it is the Begonia listada, because my plug from Dibley's it's on the struggle bus. I'm not gonna lie, it's really suffering. And Begonia metallica, because that is a plug plant from Dibley's that I lost, and I am so gutted because I love the Begonia metallica. So that is high on my list. I probably also want the Begonia soli mutata again because I also lost that one. to be honest with you, there's a load of begonias that I really want again. Begonia Black Fang I've also recently lost, and Begonia Luxurians, this one hurts because I've killed it twice. They just don't seem to agree with me. But yeah, anyway, I didn't mean to have loads of begonias on my list, but I guess they kind of are on my list. But yeah, the official ones on my list are Listada and Metallica. Then we've got a beautiful cultivar of Philodendron. This is the Philodendron Macaulay's Finale. At the moment, you can kind of get these in some garden centres in the UK. They're roughly sort of between £65 and £85. I freaking love this plant. It's so beautiful. It has a gorgeous well, it has like a nesting philodendron growth habit, and it kind of grows from, I'm actually not sure if it grows from green to sort of browny red, or if it's the other way around, but basically at any given point the newest leaves will look some kind of gorgeous like autumnal glow between green and red, and it's so pretty. I'll try and find a really good picture of it because I'm just like, I freaking love the Macaulay's Finale. I would also love to have the Philodendron Gloriosum because it's big, it's beautiful, it's just stunning. I don't think anyone can say that that's not a beautiful plant. So yeah, if the plant gods want to send me a Philodendron Gloriosum, I would be so happy. It's just such a beautiful plant, and I would die to have that plant. Especially like a really lovely big one. That would be amazing. Then I've got the Anthurium Warcranum, for obvious reasons, because it's bloody beautiful. Look at the picture. That's just always, I think for me, is always going to be a wish list plant until I have it. I don't think that's ever being knocked off my wish list. As soon as I saw it, I was like, Mama needs that. Like, I really want that plant, but it's still very expensive. I can't quite bring myself to pay that much money. Maybe I can one day, but it's a lot of money at the moment. Usually over £100, if not several £100s, depending on who you're buying from. I suspect that might get worse post-Brexit. I don't know, but it's such a beautiful plant. I'm willing to ride it out because I know I'll always want it, and ultimately it probably will be available at some point in the future for a lot cheaper, so I'm going to hold out for that time. Also, honourable mention, Anthurium Photorefolium. There's something about that plant that I just love. There's something about the beautiful long leathery leaves that I'm just sold on. I'm not a mad Anthurium fan, but sorry to the Anthurium sitting next to me. But the Warcranum and the Photorefolium, they have long been on my wish list, like since as long as I can remember, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Then we've got a slightly more unusual one. I have had this plant before and it's died because they are actually quite difficult to keep watered appropriately during their dormancy. So this is the Dioscorea elephantipes, or Dioscorea elephantipes. I'm not 100% sure which pronunciation is correct, but it is the elephant foot yam. And what is really beautiful about it, it looks like a little potato in the ground, and out of it you have a beautiful vine with beautiful bright green heart-shaped leaves that come out and trail out of it, like you'll see in the picture anyway. And it's just beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. I had a really tiny one and it really struggled because I didn't have any sunlight when I had it. I was in a north-facing flat, and once it went dormant, I really struggled to water it correctly. I think I missed a lot of watering and then watered it too much, and it just kind of rotted away, sadly. but I would really like to have another go with one. I saw a stunning one in Kew Gardens a few years ago. It was actually part of a collection of plants that they had seized from customs that had been illegally poached, I suppose, and transported into the country. Or it might not have been illegally poached. It might just be that they didn't have a phytosanitary certificate. I'm not quite sure the backstory of it, but I'll see if I can find that picture and put it in here because it's just beautiful and it's huge. It was literally like this big, and I would love to have something like that. Obviously, to get something like that is a very old plant and it needs to be cultivated for a long time. I don't know if I'd live long enough for it to get that big, but anyway. Another one on my list, this is another one that doesn't get quite enough love on Instagram and YouTube, is the Piper, particularly for me, the Piper Ornatum. I think this is a beautiful plant. It feels to me a bit like a cross between like a Philodendron and a Peperomia, because it's kind of got the chunky, rubbery looking leaves, but the beauty of a really pretty Philodendron. Maybe even a bit of Begonia in there. I don't know. It just seems to like tick all those lovely boxes. So I would absolutely love to have a Piper Ornatum. Hard to get hold of in the UK at the moment. I don't think I've ever seen one for sale. Although it's not something that I've been actively looking for, but I don't think I've ever seen any of them for sale while I've been browsing. So yeah, I would love to get hold of one of those, just because it's really pretty, and I think the Piper genus is actually really underrated. I think that compared to philodendrons, anthuriums, alocasias, etc., I just think that the Piper genus really deserves more love. And finally, I have a little jewel orchid called the Descenia marmarata, which is beautiful. It actually reminds me a lot of the Macodes petola, but in a kind of black form with gorgeous kind of coppery colours, or maybe, oh, I don't know, maybe more like the Macodes sanderiana. I don't know actually, but it's just beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful, and I think to continue my jewel orchid collection, I would love to have one of those. That you tend to only really be able to get them from a European seller if you live in the UK. So again, that might be affected by Brexit, etc., but I am hoping that they will become more available in the UK in 2021. I obviously don't know anything about the plant market or what's going to happen or anything like that, but that is just what I would love to have. Again, like I said, these are not things that I'm definitely going to try and get in 2021. These are just the things that currently are really up there as plants that I wish I could have. You know, I think sometimes people talk about their wish list as like a purchase list, like plants that they plan to buy. For me, it's plants that I admire from afar and I would love to get them. I would love to. It's not always feasible, and hence that's why it's a wish list. Okay. I think again, it's also really important to acknowledge that affordability is a massive factor in these plants, because honestly, they're not affordable to the average person. So don't feel bad. I think the nice thing about having a wish list, it's a bit like window shopping and thinking, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini? I mean, I'm not mad for cars, but yes, it would be flipping nice to have one of those cars. Am I going to chuck it all on my credit card to try and get one? No, I'm not. It's not worth it. So that is what a wish list is to me. It's something that I am like, I would love to have that. I am going to ogle it on Instagram, and I'm going to seethe with jealousy when other people have it and I don't. But like, you know, positive jealousy, not bad, not the bad shit. But yeah, I just, yeah, those are the ones that I really would love to have. So if some kind of magic plant fairy was to decide to one day give me my entire wish list, here is my list. Not really. The other thing that I want to say is that this will probably change on a regular basis. I am quite fickle with my plants, wish list wise, and the wish list changes all the time, but these ones are the ones where they haven't changed in quite a long time. They've been on my list for months or since I've known about the plant. So yeah, I thought this would be a good list to summarize what I currently really like the look of. What I would love to know is what your wishlist plants are in the comments, and anything that you're thinking about or hoping for in terms of your plant collection. Maybe something that you're planning on changing for the next year, or a different focus that you're trying to take, or maybe something new that you're learning for 2021. I'd love to hear about that in the comments. So please go ahead and let me know what you're thinking, what you're doing, what you really want as a wishlist plant. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe as usual. I'm so close to 700 and I can't believe it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for a wonderful year. This has been more fun than I ever actually imagined it would be. Not that I didn't imagine it would be fun, it's just, you know, extra. You know what I mean. But yeah, it's been a really great year despite all that's been going on. So thank you all for your support. All 672 of you as of this morning. So yeah, thank you so much guys, and I will see you in the new year.